Wait, what's going on, people? This is your boy God by 2009. I just wanted to come in, holler at y'all right quick. I don't really get to do up close and personal, face to face, what I mean, too much and too often, but I just want to talk to y'all right quick, you know what I'm saying? Let y'all know, a little bit about me, why I do this, you know what I mean? Because, I came from a pretty, humble, rough background where, there wasn't too many, positive outlets, too many positive role models, too many, brothers that were older than me that, talked a lot of sense, gave us the right guidance and leadership, to follow a good example, and I realized, coming up, that means a whole lot when you were a young man. And it's the reason why I do the God by 2009 channel. And plus, it came to me in a dream in 2014 for the do something like this, but I didn't realize what it meant at the time. But it led up to me doing this and doing different messages and things of that nature. And I really didn't, I really was apprehensive about it at first, but then I got to the point where I really started to enjoy it. And, before then, I was, a wild knucklehead. I was back and forth, Cause I'm gonna just tell y'all a little bit about me because I'm not scared to share my testimony, my story, or whatever. 'Cause I want people to really, get an understanding of me and really understand why I'm doing this and that I'm not just doing this randomly. I came from, like I said, a rough background. I was back and forth, incarcerated. I did, pretty much the lifestyle that most of these youngsters today, glamorize so much and think it's so they think it's some type of badge of honor to be back and forth incarcerated. They think it's a badge of honor to sell drugs. They think it's a badge of honor to have to carry guns everywhere you go. They think it's a badge of honor to, gang bang all day. You know what I'm saying? Hang on the block with your homeboys because, that's all they've been conditioned to do. Just like I was talking yesterday with my boy, Wake the Hell Up 7. It's a conditioning. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's repeatedly put in your mind, and once a point it's conditioned to the point where that becomes your real personality because all you see all day is negativity. All you see all day is drug dealing. All you see is people robbing each other. All you see is people cutting each other throats all day. You're gonna eventually, unless you have that guidance, unless you have that leadership, somebody wise around you that love you and care about you, or what happens to you or how you turn out, initially that's going to become you. You know what I mean? The negativity is going to eventually sink into your spirit, and that's going to be the person who you are. And I want to just be an example for the youngsters out here, especially in America, out here, in 2017, to let them know, like, all of us are not popping mollies. All of us are not getting wasted 24/7. All of us are not ignorant. All of us are not gang banging. All of us, are, a stereotype because American media has pinpointed to the point we have stereotypes of what an African American male should act like, how an African American male should conduct itself, um, and it could be no further from the truth. A lot of us are very intelligent. A lot of us are productive. A lot of us are trying to follow the Lord. A lot of us want, just to do the best for ourselves, to provide, the proper future for our family, you know what I'm saying, and our kids. So I just want to let y'all know this is why I do this. This is why I put a lot of messages. I don't sugarcoat anything because I don't believe in that. I, I'm not a believer of being politically correct and things of that nature. So if you're looking for that, this is not the channel for you. But if you're looking for a reality and somebody that's going to tell it like it is, somebody that's going to give you their 100% true, perspective on things, not just my opinion, but the truth all around. Even if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know what I mean? And let me see. It's so much I want to tell y'all, but I'm gonna keep it to a minimum because I don't want to, bore nobody. But and if anybody up here, watching whatever, if you want to comment, I think, let me see to list all available comments. I'm gonna see how this works because I want y'all. I want to hear from y'all. So I'm gonna see if it'll let me. Okay, I just wanna see if I can see y'all comments. So I think to list all available comments. Okay, I think if you want to comment, even if you just want to join in on the chat and talk to me face to face, that's okay too. Just all you had to do is give me, just let me know in the comments, and I can send you an invite or whatever, or however we can do it, and I can get you right up here and we can talk or whatever. But yeah, I was wild. I mean, I was one point I was homeless. I was in the streets. By the age of 13, I was already living on the streets by myself. I was very misguided. Uh, I always had a close relationship with the Lord, but at the same time, I was young without guidance. So a lot of times I did a whole lot of stuff. It took me a long time to get back on the path that, the Lord wanted. Um, got to the point, it was just about survival for me. I didn't care about, trying to inspire anybody or trying to help anybody. I had to do whatever you could think about doing to survive. We got to the point I started hanging out with, the fellow drug dealers around the neighborhood. I started sleeping, on floors, you know, selling drugs, doing everything I can just to survive. And this is at the age of, when I look back at it now, it looked crazy. It sounds crazy. If somebody would tell me that about any of my cousins, our brothers and sisters, 13 years old, living like I was living, that's nothing but a baby for real. But at that time, you couldn't tell me I wasn't, you know, full grown. But at the same time, I was misguided. It took me a long time to really get back on track. It took me a long time to really start thinking with a clear head. Started really getting my dome on straight where I can really see the truth and reality. I was once of the people that didn't believe anything, didn't want to hear nothing from anybody. Um, a lot of stuff didn't really move me. I was full of rage. I was full of anger, and I was full of violence because that's how I was brought up. You know what I mean? And my just the male figures in my life, they just were non-existent. So I chose people that embraced me in the streets. They became the role model for me, even though now I know better. Years late as a teen, as a late teen, I started realizing, choosing men as role models is not the best, is not good at all. But at the time, this is what I was taught, to find a role model. So my role models were, pimps, drug dealers, businessman, legitimate businessman also, because they had the fancy cars, the nice houses, the beautiful wives, what I'm saying, the lovely lifestyle. So I looked up to the ballers, what I mean, anybody that was high rolling, anybody that had a dangerous reputation, and people feared and respected them. Those type of guys I was looking up to. So a lot of those guys would see me, out there as a young 13-year-old kid, living on the streets, and seeing me holding my own as an adult. And a lot of those guys would take me under their wing, what I mean, and school me to a lot of stuff. I'm not, applauding a lot of stuff they taught me, but maybe to them, it was the best knowledge they could have gave me. But they did teach me a lot about the world and about reality and about what to expect as a young black man. They did give me a lot of that insight also. What I'm saying? It wasn't just all negative street stuff. A lot of those guys did try to steer me away from the life of the streets and the outcome and the results of what the streets will do to you. And that's somewhat what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be, like that big brother figure, or that friend, that close friend that you can always count on. I want to be that to my supporters. I'm not here to just for you to see my face and for you to, applaud me or anything like that. I want to be eye to eye with y'all, where y'all can feel comfortable talking to me, communicate with me, telling me your opinion on different things, on different topics, um, giving me your stories or testimonies on, you know, how do you get to the point of where you at, and how can you inspire the youth, and what can they do to get closer to God, or what can they do to steer themselves away from the streets, or what can they do to steer their younger brothers or younger nephews, people, that's incarcerated that really don't have nobody to reach out to them. Like, what can they do to, make a difference? What can they do to be positive and find a positive outlet and change their life? Let them know that it's cool to be intelligent. It's cool to, graduate from college. It's cool to graduate from high school. It's cool not to smoke and drink and do drugs. It's cool. Let them know that, even though people might laugh at you, call you a dork or whatever, saying you a square and all that, that don't matter. That them people are stupid, and you'll see where they end up in the next 15, 10 years. You're gonna see where those guys that goofed off, skipped class, sold drugs, gang bang. You're gonna see where they end up, because there's no future in that. So the end results is gonna be the penitentiary or death. It's just no way. It's no way around that. And a lot of people like to, sugarcoat it and everything. But if you follow the lifestyle of the blind, you're gonna walk into a hole. And that's what most of these people in Hollywood and in music industry and on TV, they're gonna steer you towards the path of nowhere and lead you to the path of nowhere. And if you let them guide you, you will fall into a deep hole. And you best believe, and take my word for it, nobody will reach out and grab you out that hole. Once you fall in there, you won't have nobody but the grace of God, and maybe your mother, you know, or your father, if you have a good relationship with them. They might not help you either. You know what I'm saying? They might say you on your own because you're old enough to know better. So don't don't fall into that hole. Try to avoid all those obstacles. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know because I've been down that road, and I was blessed enough to survive that. You know what I mean? And I'm realizing my life has a purpose, because I have to be a testimony, because I realize most of the guys in my generation and my age group, a lot of them don't really speak the truth. A lot of them don't really talk good sense. They embrace the ignorance, the violence, the sex, the drug culture. Like, I can tell you all about that. I can talk about that all day because I actually lived that. But I'm not going to sit here and promote that like it's something to glamorize. You know what I mean? Because just like I said, most of my friends that I grew up with, most of the guys that I love, like my brothers, not just people I hang out with and and goofed off with. These dudes I went to school with, you know, played on the swings with, on the sliding board with, you know what I mean? Like, got my first bruises with, played football, little league football with. These guys are dead and in the penitentiary because they chose to sell drugs, they chose to murder, they chose to rob. They were, some of them were very intelligent brothers, but they took their talents and their intelligence and used it to embrace negativity and embrace evil activity. And a lot of them are not here with me, unfortunately. And I want to prevent a lot of you young guys that's coming up without, no real father figures or no real big brother figures, to realize, it is guys that's out here that's young, that's doing their thing. You know, I'm not no cornball or none of that stuff. I lived and done everything you could think of. You know what I mean? I don't have to show you anything. I take you, maybe one day I'll take y'all to a location, let y'all speak to one of my homeboys. I don't know how they, do it and stuff, but I really want him to give a word of advice to the kids, because he's unfortunately he's incarcerated right now, and I know he would definitely be a part of this if he was free right now. But I know when he come home, I'm gonna definitely have him a part of my page. But one day when he calls, I'm gonna definitely have him get on here and tell the young kids this is not where it's at. You know, you see a lot of those cats in Chicago. A lot of these people are really embracing that gang banging Chicago lifestyle, but that's people don't realize that stuff been going on for decades, for years and years and years. These kids are dying over stuff that happened to their grandfathers 50, 20, 50, 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's very sad. They dying over stuff that people won't remember tomorrow. They're gonna be, they kill somebody today, but 20 years later, nobody's gonna remember them. You know, nobody's gonna remember why they in there. Nobody's gonna come see them. Nobody's gonna send them letters. Nobody's gonna send you commissary. That's just the bottom line. You might be lucky to have somebody that holds you down, that supports you, that loves you that much, that really, take the bit with you and support you while you're in prison or incarcerated, but it's not guaranteed at all. You know what I mean? A lot of times, a lot of guys think somebody's gonna be there for them because they were balling and high rolling when they was free. But at the end of the day, they're no good to anybody, not even themselves when they're incarcerated. And realize when you're incarcerated, your freedoms are taken away from you. It's not a badge of honor. You're being ripped of your honor because you're being ripped of your freedom, your personal human rights, making a difference because you're not on the outside where you can work and be progressive. So you can't really make no difference like you really want to. Your voice can't really be heard. You can't really raise your kids. You can't really, be there for your wife or your spouse like you want to. You can't be there to see at funerals. You can't be there at weddings. You're gonna miss birthday parties. The world is gonna pass you by. People think it's cool, like, oh, my boy did 10 years. Oh, my boy did 3 years. There's nothing cool about that. There's nothing fun about that. There's nothing to embrace about that. You know what I'm saying? I've been there and done that, and let me tell you, it was nothing fun or funny about it. There was no badge of honor. There was no, there was no pride in that. I didn't take no pride in that. I felt, I felt that I let my whole family down. I felt that I could have made a whole lot of better decisions to prevent me from being incarcerated. But, by the grace of God, I was able to make it out of that situation where, I can make a difference. And I hope y'all appreciate and understand what I'm doing. And I know it's been kind of messy because I've been using like my little raggedy iPhone, but I got my laptop up and running where you can see me in a whole lot better quality, a whole lot better quality. And if any of y'all, want to comment and, like, subscribe, show your love, I'm always willing to listen to anybody. Just as long as you come to me respectfully, it's no problem. And I'd like to thank everybody, all my supporters from all over the world, all over the United States, everybody that's, been writing me and sending me messages. I love and appreciate that because I never expected people to really embrace me or really push me to do something positive, because I know we live in a world where positivity is not really embraced. People don't really embrace positivity, not real positivity, you know what I mean? And I'm glad, like, I get support from y'all. I get a lot of support from people in different places more than the place where I'm from, and that's sad, but a lot of times that's the outcome. So, but I think I'm glad to have any type of support system, even if it's from people I wasn't raised with or brought up around. I appreciate anybody help, and I like to send a shout out to my boy Wake the Hell Up 7, my homegirl Deb C, my homegirl Gina D, Dima TV, Brown Mocha, my boy Fourth. Um, Let me see who else is always showing me love and support. It's a lot of people. I don't want to miss out on anybody, but it's a lot of people, and hopefully I can have some people up here that have, we have a couple of topics we want to cover, and I have a couple of guests up here. And since I got my Google Live back running like I want to, and I thank y'all just for supporting me and just being there. And I thank y'all so much. Y'all don't even realize how much I thank y'all for supporting me, because a lot of y'all give me a lot of good feedback, a lot of good advice, I mean, a lot of good pointers. And y'all share y'all stories and testimonies, and I appreciate that. And hopefully you'll see a lot from me. I'm gonna keep this real short and sweet, but I'm happy y'all support me, and I thank y'all so much. Thank you for the support, and please continue to support me. And hopefully I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend and be safe out here, man, because you know it's the end of the month. So those police out here, they trying to fill their quotas and try to, get convictions and lock people up. So y'all stay off them highways drinking. Y'all don't do no speeding. Don't have don't and all you young cats don't have five dudes in a little ass car. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you realize or not, you being profiled and you're gonna make yourself a target. You might as well put a bullseye on the back of your back. When you ride in the car with more than two black men, you asking yourself to get pulled over. So y'all be careful and use your head, man. It ain't about what you do, it's how you do it. You think before you do stuff, use your head, man. You got a brain for a reason. You know what I mean? And just like I said, I use my mouth because I need to communicate with y'all, but at the same time, that's not the only tool God gave me. He gave me two eyes and two ears. So be aware of your surroundings and make sure you know what's going on and don't be ignorant because it's great to embrace intelligence, embrace greatness, and embrace God. And I'm going to holler at y'all later. Y'all be blessed and be safe out here. Peace.